What is up, everybody? Today, trade cap for July 21st, 2026. Intend to do two trades today, one on AMD and one on Microsoft. And in this video, I'm going to be going over the two setups I use on both these trades, right? What the market did today, what opportunities there were, and yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So let's get into the video. So let me pull up how this month's looking like. So this month is actually looking really slow. I'm gonna be honest. Easily my worst month, right, out of this year. Easily my worst month, and it's actually pretty much near break even, right? Have barely traded this month, and you guys can see, right? If you guys kind of look back at like these weeks, right? This month is more like a stock month than like an options month. And what I mean by that is that this month is more kind of better for buying opportunities for stocks, right? A lot of these names dipped 30-40% on these names to buy long term, right? And today we kind of see these names up 15-20%, right? Tech names, absolutely horrible price action, right? Horrible consolidation. And so hopefully after earnings tomorrow we kind of see finally some movement, but otherwise, right, just absolutely horrible price action. It's for sure trickier, but it is manageable, right? It is manageable because if you're going to target good setups, right, which I'll show you guys, right, then it is still good. You're still going to be fine, right? Like I know a couple people that I know that are good traders that are red this month, right? And I'm still kind of up 5,000, but to be honest, that's not that good, right? Considering that options is actually easier than futures, right? Options easier than futures. So yeah. Yeah, so let's go over the two steps real quick, right? Let's go over my alerts and let's go over the pre-market game plan, right? So 829 QQ opening bar previous side level. You want to see this whole previous side for the upside. NVIDIA above previous side's main watch. Let's see what happens in the first 5 minutes. So again, very simple game plan. QQ and SPY clearly, especially QQ, strong gap up. Pre-market opening bar previous side level. You just want to see hold that zone to look for longs on tech. Very, very simple, right? But today tech was absolutely trash price action, right? Consolidation 844, consolidation 855, right? So 930, Microsoft calls 405 on watch, right? In Microsoft calls worth a shot with QQ because QQ is breaking high of day. And then yeah, so this I actually ended up changing my stop loss, and I'll talk about everything, right? So let's just skim through this, right? Cut Microsoft 1047, watching AMD calls 562.5, and AMD calls will stop, so don't bounce here. Out AMD. So it took two losses today. It took two losses today back to back, and guys, both these trades, right, higher time frame steps, and it's unfortunate we took two losses today, but like guys, higher time frame steps are good, so that like even if you take losses, if you do take 1 minute on the higher time frame step, you're gonna be making majority of your money. Like the risk to reward on these trades are absolutely insane. And I'll show you guys the AMD trade for example, because this actually ended up working out right when I got off, right? Right when I got stopped out, this ended up breaking below in the 1 minute. I ended up stopping out, and then 5 minute I held, and then reclaiming back up and working out. And that's just absolutely unfortunate. And the reason why I didn't hold on this trade, and I'll talk about it, right? So let's talk about Microsoft first. What was I looking at Microsoft? Okay. Very, very kind of simple thesis. Hard time frame level 401, break, retest, hold. I want to see strong buyer step up here now and push the upside. Otherwise, if you come back below, we're clearly going to be in this chop zone, right? Kind of very clear thesis. Risk to reward absolutely insane because these contracts are 1 day expiration. So down at this candle, I'm only down like less than 8%. So absolutely nothing. So that's why I understood, you know what, maybe I have to give this more room for this hard time frame thesis to play out. So I end up adjusting my stop loss down to this 400 below. And I just want to see this kind of hold above this 400 and then kind of show buyer step up here with QQ and SPY breaking above high day. So if you look over here at QQ and SPY, is clearly now breaking above VWAP, above high of day. Now I want to see high day hold and QQs end up breaking above and showing bullish price action, and hopefully that will push tech. That's my thesis, and this end up just not doing anything, right? So unfortunately, we just end up just chopping around, end up stopping me out at this candle over here, and like that's just, it is what it is, right? I ended up taking a bigger loss. I think like a 25% loss on Microsoft, and even end the risk to reward so good on these names because if this did end up playing out, right, I can have a higher time frame objective and hold to a bigger TP on this name, right? And so that was trade number one, right? Microsoft, it is what it is, right? Ended up being stopped on this trade. This actually just ended up doing nothing the entire day, which is absolutely like stupid. Like let's talk about AMD now, right? So same kind of thesis as well, right? So AMD breaking above higher time frame level, this 534. I want to see this kind of break above, retest, hold, show bullish price action, and then move to the upside, right? That's what I want to see. So I end up actually entering AMD calls at this candle right here, and I'll be honest, I did not wait for a bullish price action. I just kind of want to enter consolidation because I need that, you know what, 1 day expiration contracts, QQ SPY is looking bullish. This has room the entire day to move to the upside, right? This looks good. And unfortunately, right, I just had soft hands. I'm gonna be straight up honest. I had soft hands on this trade. This trade on AMD did have wider spread, so that's why I kind of stopped that early. But if you guys look at my Microsoft trade, right, I adjusted my stop loss based off the market conditions, and in this scenario I should have honestly adjusted my stop loss as well. I should have had a bigger stop loss for that kind of hard time frame thesis because this actually, AMD looks way better on the higher time frame than Microsoft, right? AMD is above our previous side level, right, has momentum to reclaim that 500 level, right? If you guys can see, right, break below, reclaim strong price action up here, break below, reclaim strong price up here, and also individual names like Micron, SNDK, TSM, all these names are also up 10-15% today, right? So they look very, very good. So Individual names, also semis as well, we're pumping today, right? And then mag 7, which is doing nothing, consolidation, probably making those earnings, right? So yeah, so this name, right, higher time frame thesis, like this didn't work out, right? But the higher time frame objectives are very, very obvious on this trade, right? We're gonna be targeting that 540 first, and this 542, and then we're getting levels from higher time frame, right? Which is this pivot level right here, and then this 545.18, and then this. So very clear higher time frame objectives on this name. And unfortunately, right, you end up getting stopped on this trade, and I end up getting off the charts, and then 30 minutes later, end up being alert that we're at TP. So like, you know, it is what it is. And that's the thing about trading, is that you're gonna be right and wrong. My thesis played out beautifully, and it was right. It was just, I was just wrong on my timing, right? And I'm getting stopped out here, and honestly, I should have adjusted my stop loss. And this is why I told you guys in Microsoft trade, right? I adjusted my stop loss because I know that there are scenarios where we'll break our stop loss on the 1 minute time frame, and then we'll reclaim it back up later, holding on the 5 minute time frame, the 10 minute time frame, and then the thesis will still be valid. So this trade, right? We unfortunately end up stopping on the 1 minute, end up pulling on the 5 minute, end up reclaiming, going straight to TP, and that's just unfortunate. So for sure, a little bit unlucky this month. But again, it is what it is. That's how trading is, right? But guys, you guys can just see, right? Even though I took like what, a less than 50% loss on AMD, right? Very small loss, right? You guys can see the risk reward is absolutely insane, right? Risk reward is absolutely insane on this trade, even with a bigger stop loss on this trade. It's still 1 to 6. You're still gonna at least make like what, easily like 90, 100% plus, even on 1 day expiration contracts. So you guys can see the math does play out, especially on these higher time frame plays. But again, you have to be a little more patient and understand if your entries are not ideal. You do have to compromise sometimes, like depending on the market conditions, right? And you do have unlucky moments where, you know, you'll get stopped out and then it'll just go straight to your TP. And the guys, the most important thing when this happens is not to spiral out, right? Because there's one thing about kind of protecting your capital, right? That's what we kind of say, only take 1 to 2 trades. But it's also not just about preserving capital. It's also about preserving your mental, right? There's two things, right? Capital preservation, also mental preservation, right? Because if your mental is horrible, you're just gonna revenge trade, size insane, and blow it even more. So your capital, your mental capital is actually more important than your capital, if that makes sense. So yeah, it is what it is, right? That's how trading is. And yeah, those are pretty much 2 trades today. I think I pretty much talked about everything, right? Pretty much talked about 2 trades, what happened, right? What I was looking at, higher time frame, right? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Tomorrow we do have earnings on Google and Tesla after hours. So let's see how price action we have this tomorrow morning. Otherwise, right, AMD strong close. So this name does look good. I'm gonna be honest, this name does look good. We can probably play this name tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What the fuck? Oh. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Yeah, look at tech today. Tech is absolutely, look, this price action is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous price action, like that's absolutely insane. Like, you know, and what is this month? Only up like what, 5,000? Like, guys, I'm gonna be honest, right? Like I've been making more money from stocks than I've been making from like from options by a lot. And it's not even like I want to make money from stocks, right? It's just like I'm just trimming my long-term holdings. I'm just making more money. That's why no options this month has been horrible. Like that's not supposed to happen. So yeah, no, it's absolutely insane and trickier month for sure. But that's how trading is. You have your ups, you have your downs. The most important thing is you don't spiral out and do stupid shit, because the money, guys, when we do have good weeks, good months, you make a lot of money in those markets because the money is so easy to make. You have continuation. We're trading options. When there's momentum, when the premium is spiking, the money just gets printed. It's so nice. Whereas when the market's this dog shit and we're consolidating, you know, you have to understand, you have to be more defensive, take a step back, and just and understand you have to be patient, wait for those good market conditions. That's literally it, right? Yeah, that's it. Damn, man, I made a long video, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, what do our names do today? Yeah, like Google is trash, Meta trash, Palantir trash. Like, what is this? Cause like, bro, that is a crazy. That's why, like, it's actually kind of funny. I know a couple people. I don't know if they actually make money long term, right? But like, they only trade specific names. Like, I'll only trade Meta options. I'm like, bro, what the? That doesn't make sense. Like, you have to be able to trade every single tech name, because only some tech names will have the higher time for momentum, while others will be consolidating. That doesn't even make sense. Imagine you're only trying to trade Meta, and you're looking at the chart for the first hour market open, and this was happening. You're gonna lose your brain. You're gonna lose your marbles, right? You have to be able to look at every name and see what is showing strong price action and what is showing weak price action. Simply play with that trend and play with that strong price action or weak price action. That's just how trading is. Okay, I'm yapping too much. All right, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.